Hello students, my name is Eric Callaghan. I'm going to walk through the steps on how to download your code for your website and then deploy it. Now I had some pretty major hiccups with this, but you guys have the AI tools that I have, and so I believe in you. You can do this. Just like Ape Man did. Okay. So right here, I have my my website that I'm building for a class at BHS. So these students, I used Emergent. I just told it all the different things I want. And the idea I had was for students to upload their own UI buttons to a website so that they can test out different ways of creating UI for their own website. Of course, yeah, never mind. So they have all of these little different drag and drop things. Anyways, I don't have to go into all that because it's a totally separate lesson. But Emergent built this web page and it works really well. It's really cool for the stuff that I'm doing. Like the students can put in their name and export their file. I can import it. It's JSON file. I can import it and grade it, and it's super cool. Anyways, so the way that you'll deploy this is you'll go down to the bottom here after you've gotten it to where you want it to be, and then you'll say save to GitHub. Now, if you're not already connected, you can make sure you're connected through here. I've already done that for mine. I already named this UI lab, but if you haven't named it, you can create a new one. And then you'll just click push to GitHub. I don't have any changes, so it's just gonna save and, to, I guess, I don't know, make me feel better. And so after that, you're going to go to, so after you push it to GitHub, then you're going to go to GitHub, and this is where all of your files are. You can look through all these things. If you know a better way to do this, go ahead and do it. So you can look through all of the code that it generated. I think all of the really interesting stuff is in some of these JSON files. But our main focus here is to go back to our main page. Right here, there's a code little window, and then you can download zip. Okay, so I'm gonna download the zip. I've already done that, so it appears here. After that, you're going to extract files, and then you'll get your other folder. And then you're going to open up Visual Studio Code. And I already have it open here. But you can, let's see here. Yeah, so yeah, you can open it there. And then this is where you're gonna run some different commands. This is where I kind of ran into some issues, because the way that you're going to build your project is you're going to bring it to a website called Netlify. That was the best one I found. There were a couple other ones that I tried that I didn't like as much. Actually, right here in ChatGPT, it had a couple different suggestions for places. Cloudflare. You might like that one better. I didn't have as much luck with that one. GitHub Pages, I also, for whatever reason, just could not get that to work very well for me. So Netlify was the one that I ended up liking, and they give you a pretty generous amount of free credits. So I've been able to build a couple different websites without upgrading or doing anything different. Yeah, but I had a lot of little weird things, like, so all of these little code windows here, I had to enter those in. I had to make sure I was on the right node system. Don't know anything about that, but I used AI to figure it out. So I ended up going through, copying through all these different codes that ChatGPT gave me to doing them in order. in order to build out the web page in a way that Netlify can create the web page based on that code. So, yeah, so it says, yeah, install the missing pieces for Craco. I'm probably saying that totally wrong because I don't know any of this stuff. And then verifying here that I have that in there. And then the big magic button is npm run build, which I've already done here at the bottom. And after I ran that, it spit this out at me, compiled successfully. And there's a new build folder that is ready to deploy within my front end folder that's in my downloaded stuff from GitHub. So if I go back here, let's see. Sorry. Downloads. Okay, so I unzipped this. I navigated to front end and opened that with VS Code, Visual Studio Code. And then in there, after I did all my building with the commands, I then had this folder, build, which is the main one that you want. You don't have to do anything with it right now. What you'll end up doing is you'll go over to Netlify. You'll add a new project. This is after, obviously, you've done all your setup and everything like that. You'll add your new project, import from an existing project, and then you use try Netlify drop. And then you've got this nice place here after your thing is built where you can just drop it right in there. And what that ended up doing was giving me my AI lab or UI lab website. And that was it. I dropped it in there. Boom, it's ready to go. There are a couple other steps that you want to do. So you go to quick setup. I can then choose what my name is for the project so that it'll update my link. Now, after you've done this, you can, if you have your own domain or you want to buy a domain on Netlify, you can do that too. If you want a really snappy one for your portfolio, or if you're building a certain website for something, you might want something more specific to you. I don't care because for this particular website, I'm going to put it in my Google Classroom for all the students to use. And so I don't care. It doesn't need to be something snappy and really quick for somebody to remember and put into a different web browser. It's just a click to link. So I'm not too worried about it. So yeah, after I do that, then I do pretty much nothing else. After that, then you can go check out your new web page. Everything is up there. And you've already, at this point, done all of the testing and previewing on Emergent to make sure that it's perfect. You want to make sure that you spend more time on Emergent editing your website, because by the time you get to Netlify, it's done. Your web page is done. You can obviously go back later and you can connect to the different things there. You can push to GitHub again, download it again, build it again, but it's kind of a pain in the butt. So what you probably should do is make sure you have all that done to begin with. Now, that said, if you have different things in here that you don't like, and you can't get Emergent to do it, or afterwards you realize, well, I want to go back and add this, you can go back through your build code. Like you can see all this code that I have here. When I go through that, I can find where I have certain things. Like one issue I had on the tutorial page was there was some links in there that ChatGPT had hallucinated. So in order to update those links, I actually went into the code, and I'm not finding it now because I'm silly and I don't remember how to do these things. But anyways, in the code, I was able to find those hyperlinks and edit them. So you can do some small tweaks like that so that you don't have to go all the way back through Emergent, use more credits to update things. Well, anyways, you guys can go through this and you can edit your own web page after the fact if you really need to. But like I said, by the time you get to this point in your project, it should be all kind of done. You can upload a ton of photos to Emergent. I did find that when you upload the photos, if you have them named something particular, that helps it a lot. Because when they're not named, I thought before it was using like visual learning to figure out which pictures go where. Like for my bobblehead project, I didn't tell it where those bobblehead pictures go. I just said, these are for the tutorial, put them in where it makes sense, and it did. But I think it was because they were named certain things, like screenshot Blender. And then it knew where the Blender screenshot went in the pipeline of different things. So I think naming your image files is how it figures out how to use those things. So anyways, I'm kind of rambling, but that's about it. Yeah, so good luck. If you get stuck on some of these things, ChatGPT is really good at helping with those things. You could even, the nice thing about Emergent is it is still a chat AI, so you can still ask it too. I haven't tried asking it, how do I download your code and circumvent your system of deploying, but I think it would probably still give me a pretty fairly straightforward answer. I like ChatGPT because I can take a screenshot, and that's what I did when I ran into issues. Take a screenshot of my code. Hey, it's running into errors on this line, this line, this line. Put it over there, and it just goes through and says, oh, well, this is what you need to do, dummy. And so that was really helpful for me. So yeah, good luck. Like I said, just reach out to me if you need help. Catch you later.